Time's up. Admiral.
Here it comes.
Hail and howdy, everybody. Welcome back to Anime Odyssey. We managed to get it done this month, Dermy.
That's right. We did good.
Yeah, buddy, we did great. Anyway.
It's amazing. We worked our butts off, and we actually
really
remembered it.
I sat on my ass and watched a show for a week.
I had to work out the time.
What I did. And I just read a bunch of One Piece in half an hour. That's what I did for my homework.
I mean, you could read One Piece when it comes out instead of having to just save it up.
No, but then I get to enjoy it all at once without any breaks, and I get to not have to wait.
That's fair.
And I'm satisfied either way. Anyway, welcome everybody. I am my second stream of the day. Dermy's awake. He's here. And we hope you guys having a good Saturday night. It's nighttime now. It's dark. It's cold.
Saturday?
It's Sunday. Yeah. Listen, I'm still a little sick.
Okay.
I can't cling to that much longer. Listen, I had to go out and scrape snow off the car. It's cold out there.
Oh God, it is cold. Even over here, we didn't get snow, but it is.
We didn't get a lot of snow. It's 17 degrees outside right now. It's cold.
It is 23 for us.
Yeah, and that ice was not coming off easy. I started to work on it, and I realized, shit, fuck this. I'm just turning on the defroster and walk away for 10 minutes because it was not coming off. So,
did you do something with your mic in between everything? Because you sound a little.
This thing has probably got water in it.
Yeah, now that you took it off, you sound better.
Yeah, this needs to dry out. It's my pop filter fell someplace it shouldn't fall, so I went and washed it off during the intro, and obviously it needs to dry. So I guess I apologize if you guys hear a lot of during the stream, because that's what this thing usually blocks. But we'll just leave it here, and it'll work itself out. So anyway, usually when that happens,
I was kind of thinking, is it my end that you sound like you're coming through a cup, or is it you?
Listen. This thing, I use it wrong the way it fits on the shirt. It should be like this, but because I have my mic aimed like this, I put it in front of it instead of on the side the way it was meant to. So it's precariously on there, and lately I keep hitting it when I stand up, and it goes flying. And it flew into the garbage can.
Oh,
so I've been spitting up nasty shit. So so I had to go and hose it down, and I thought it'd be fine, but obviously, see the mesh right here? It's obviously got moisture in it, so you could see it too. It's got moisture in there. So usually when it happens, I've got time before a stream, but it just happened right when you and I entered the green room. So yeah. So I thought if I just did it like that, it'd be fine. But no, obviously not. So I apologize if I go a lot of during this, guys. I apologize. It's my fault. I'm sick. Leave me alone. Anyway.
That's right, but guys, my bestest buddy is sick. Be nice to him.
Buddy. And there is I'm nice to Dermy because he's on my merry list right now. He's on my be merry list. There's a grift going on this channel, my channel, where every $100 I have to be nice to somebody or be a Grinch, and I have to be the bestest thing I can be for my good buddy here because he's on my merry list. And Kratos, the man who wants to destroy my channel, and Weasel the Shave Furry are on my Grinch list. So that's the grift going on here. Jeremy, do you have any grifts going on right now?
Right now, I mean, the biggest grift that I have is still, if you guys spend, usually it's $100. I'll play whatever freaking video game you guys send me, as long as it's stream appropriate, no porn games.
Yeah.
And then every $20 after that for whatever game, that's an extra hour. I still owe 3 hours to Al for a game that he wants me to play, but he wants to be there for that. So that's going to happen in the new year.
That's fair that he has to be there for it. That's fair. Just like I owe 3.5 hours on Party Animals. And if I fail on this little particular grift here, it adds an hour to it every time I fail.
Listen,
but I haven't failed yet.
Kratos has a plan to try to get you to play. He asked me what's something that you and I vehemently disagree on, and it's like, I have no idea. I literally don't know what me and you vehemently disagree on, to the point that we're willing to yell at each other.
Outside of the beginning of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, outside of that's the loudest I think we ever yelled at each other. That.
I'm pretty sure there's going to be something later on, but usually the way me and you work, we just talk it out.
Well, we'll yell a little bit, but eventually somebody's point breaks through. It is like, Yeah. Yeah. The only thing we never agreed on is that was the Full Metal Alchemist argument. That was the most I ever made you raise your octave on that one. That was the most. That was a fun one though. I
That
did
fun
I
one.
win that argument, by the way.
I still think I won, but
No,
because you relied on a bunch of normies.
everybody
So.
voted. The chat and the panel all said I won.
You relied on normies. Shut up.
I won. Anyway, hopefully everybody's doing all right. Hit those like buttons. And we got a fun one for you guys today. We got a fun one. We'll be talking Code Geass Season 1, episodes 1 through 25, episodes 26 to 50. That'll have to be another time because you can't cover all of Code Geass in one sitting. It's too dense. There's too much going on.
It's a really dense season. 1 is I don't want to say it's pretty straightforward.
It's the upper layers of things.
Yeah.
And there's I mean, the real deep lore happens in season 2 and the big reveals and twists. Because before we get into the twist that Suzaku's going to find out that Lelouch's Zero, you know that's coming. It's just a matter of when.
Mm-hmm.
But the other twists that you and I know, because this is my third full watch. I've seen Code Geass in my years all the way through twice, including the movie. And now this is my third full watch. And now I'm watching it with a little more critical eye, this and that, because we need to talk about this. And I'm not rushing through it either. I took my time this week. I watched 3 to 4 episodes a day. I didn't just burn through it. I took my time. And it was worth it because I picked up little things that I have missed in the past. Because it's not like I totally remember every little thing about it. And because it's something I like. In fact, because it's Christmas, I generally do a thing at Christmas. I have a collection. You know that most of my wallpapers are anime related.
Mm-hmm.
That's generally what I do. Once in a while, a gaming one will pop in there. But for Christmas, I alternate my wallpapers for Christmas anime Christmas themes. And appropriately, this is my wallpaper this week.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that is 100% perfect.
Yeah.
Colin is still the go-to girl. I'm sorry. It's still going to be Colin.
Dude, CT's nips are poking out right there, man.
Yeah, but it's Colin.
Listen.
She can wrap her legs around me and beat me up, and I'll just love it.
This is fantastic. I was so happy I found this one because this is actual art by the team. My favorite is actual art by either the mangaka or the animation team. When they put out, that's my favorite kind of one because then it's real and I can enjoy it. But this is one of my favorites. It's one of my go-tos every year, at least one of the weeks. And of course, it felt appropriate that it would be this week that I would settle on this one because we're talking Code Geass. So there you go. It's fantastic. And listen, and we gotta say it now. I love Code Geass has the perfect kind of fan service.
Yes,
I mean it's there, and it's not. Listen, I do love gratuitous fan service. Don't get me wrong. The shows that are pure ecchi, it's like, okay, the titties just all there, bounce around. But it fits it in perfectly. And I am of the opinion, call me a gooner, call me whatever you want. I'm of the opinion that when you make characters look that good, you got to show it off at least once.
Yes.
When you have just a cast of beautiful women and pretty boys for either side, you got to show it off at least once.
They know how to do, I think, tasteful fan service. The only time I would argue it's a little gratuitous is one scene in season 2. And yeah, this is a little bit of a spoiler for season 2, but it's one little scene and it's done to just for fan services when they're doing the whole like carnival, like the school carnival stuff. Mm-hmm. And the big titty lady who's now pretending to be like the swim coach instructor, whatever, she shows up and they just do full on jiggle physics with her. For the sake of
that's
fan
jiggle
service.
physics. I'm just talking the nudity works. I mean, every time
they did it a little gratuitous in that one, but they did it for the sake of like.
But in this one, every time we see Callan's an ass shot or her titties out, it fits the scene.
Yes,
like it's either a nice little shower shot or where she doesn't give a shit. She's trying to kill Suzaku. And he just pins her to the ground. You get a great shot. Or Valletta sitting up in bed is like, whoa, hello, hi. The only one I regret is that we never get a Cornelia fan service. Cornelia's she's not waifu material, but she's lust material for me in this. Cornelia has always been lust material because it's just that's a woman right there. That's a woman. Oof. So, but she's the only one we never get fan service of. But they get tasteful Callan fan service. The Valletta CC gets plenty of fan service. Though never full anything. Although you know she has the scar under her boob and all that kind of stuff. But it's all well done, and and I appreciate it because it's like, wow, okay, these guys have said, we know we've drawn beautiful things. Enjoy.
And I enjoy it every single time. Oh God, it's beautiful.
And remember, this is last decade where fan service was few and far between. And when Geass came out, I remember when it came out, this was not, fan service was not a regular thing in anime at some point. It was few and far between. And when I first saw Callan and pop out and Valletta set up, like, did I just see titties? Did I see titties? I think I saw titties. Let's go back and check the replay. I saw titties. So I may be gooning here, but I listen, I appreciate beauty. And I love the artwork. I'm talking about, I love the character designs in this. Some people will complain, oh, we don't like the long arms and the long legs, the angular. I love this art style. It's one of my favorites.
This is my favorite art style. I like the angles. I like the pointiness. I like the length of it. It feels like true anime for me.
Yeah.
There's, especially because like I grew up with G Gundam, kind of that era. So like the early 90s. So that's when I see this, which is like mid 2000s, 2010s.
Let me get the exact date.
Whenever it came out, it was long past the long pointy edges and everything like that. So I enjoy it because
2006.
It reminds me back when it was
mid-2000s.
Had that still.
Mid-2000s fan service was really not allowed. They didn't do fan service. It wasn't until the 2010s and the 20-teens when fan service and ecchi made a comeback and they loosened the restrictions a little bit and you saw a little more skin here and there. So this was rare in the mid-2000s to get something like this. And also for a mid-2000s show, outstanding dub. Johnny Young Bosch is Lelouch. You got so many of the standbys doing great work. It's a great dub and to go along with a great sub. Both, whether it's JP or English, the audio work, the VA work is fantastic, outstanding.
And then the intro, holy shit! Intro,
yeah,
it is done in an intro style that I shouldn't like because it plays into that kind of 80s style music from time to time, the montage and some of the stuff that they're doing and some of the vocals, but it just fits so well. Everything about it, even though Code Geass is a darker thing, having that kind of more upbeat intro, it really
the first one
fits.
I like the second intro. That one I really enjoy. The second intro theme I really like. Now here's one thing that Code Geass does also, interesting enough, they're constantly changing the images in the openings. It's constantly new and different. They shift around depending on the story. I appreciate that. I do. And so when it comes to we haven't gotten to the story yet. We're just talking about production value here. It's so great. And this is, you got to understand what we're talking about here. This is 2006. Dermy's in diapers, and I'm
not in diapers.
Okay, well,
I'm in elementary school, I think, but yeah.
Oh, okay, well, I don't remember how old you were all the time.
I'm 28.
You look youthful, good buddy.
Oh, I think. Thank you.
Anyway, I've been watching it for years, and this point in my life where I'm really starting to get back into anime. I've been kind of out of it. I've just been watching whatever Adult Swim had thrown my way because this is still 2006. There's no streaming. Fan dubbing or fan subbing is chaotic. There's no central place to find things. You're lucky. All you could get is Adult Swim. You have to find, there's no hub. You have to find the groups doing stuff. So it was really hard to get new things. And Code Geass is one of these things we could get our hands on. And my first watch through was through fan sub, of course, because there was no airing of this on Adult Swim or anywhere. And who knows? And that point in time, when you get a Blu-ray of anything, you never know. And then when you go to the Suncoast days and the Best Buy days where you're paying premium for these things, so you don't know when you're getting this. So you go the route of fan something back in the day like that. And I watched it with the Japanese audio first time, and it was amazing all the way through. And then when they did season 2 R2 when it came out, I was like, wow, they raised the stakes. It's fantastic. And this is 2006, where the industry was going through changes at this point. They're switching to 16:9 for a lot of stuff now. It's no more 4:3 ratio. They're upping the quality. They're putting more money into it, and you're getting more and more classic shows in this era that become standbys for classic anime. And Code Geass came out and blew everybody away. I loved every second of it, and I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Silver Drunky for you is the reason I started watching it, because he watched it, fell in love, was like, oh, you need to watch this. You need to watch this. And I put off on watching it for so long. And then I finally watched it because he just kept pestering me. And I was very happy that he kept pestering me. Yeah, I would have never watched it if it wasn't for him.
It does. And it's right up your alley because, and it's a mecha show. Aside from all the stuff there, it's a good mech show, man.
It's a great mech show, but I don't like calling it a mech show, even though it is a mech show, because it feels more like a political intrigue.
Well,
the movements over mechs.
It has the mecha tag to it because the nightmares play a large role, because the nightmares are the only reason that Britannia is able to control so much when they develop the nightmare technology. So it is a mech show, and it's unique mechs. Because these are not things that are jumping around. You have the acrobatics, but without the wheels that keep these things stable, these things are not applicable as mechs. It's fascinating mech design with the wheels attached to the feet.
Well, on top of that, the vast majority of them are all just like more or less mass-produced mechs. Yeah. It's not until you get like
the Lancelot,
Knights of the Round, or anything like that are like the more custom mechs. And then once you start getting with the Indian chick, who that's
Rakshata.
Ooh, Rakshata. She's beautiful. I have my complaints about her.
Do things to me, Rakshata. Do things to
me. I have my complaints about her, but we'll get to that.
Oh, well, she's not a good person.
My complaints is like story-wise, like some people just appear. That's my biggest complaint. Is like they don't do some of the groundwork and people just appear and you're expected to have a connection to them.
Well, her groundwork comes from Lloyd. That's where her groundwork comes from, where he's referencing her and that or his competition, his competitor, his rival, and then she's there, and you hear, and they give her the build up that they brought the person who built the Gur and this and that. So she does get a build up. She's not heavy, and she never gets more than surface level treatment.
Yeah, and that's some of my down. That's more to stories. We'll get to that, but like once you see her mechs come into play versus everything, that's when you start getting that really good like balance of both. But again, they feel more mass-produced style. Like even when Rakshata is putting out her more customs, the only real custom one goes to Colin. Everybody else doesn't get.
Yeah. Well,
then goes to the leader.
Toto's basically samurai one. That's a custom job. That one's made for him specifically. But yeah, you're right. But the nightmares are an interesting type of mech because with the way they're built, with the cockpit plugged in the back like that, it's fascinating because that's such a vulnerable spot, and you see many times a lot of weapons and things go right through those things. The only one that seems to have any sort of endurance is the Lancelot's cockpit, because they were there in episode 23 or 4 when he's trapped on the school grounds and they're trying to get in there. They can't burn through it very easily. Whereas in that same episode, Cornelius just gets spiked by, and hers is a custom job, but it's a mass produced, but it's still a sort of a custom job.
But also the Lancelot was supposed to be the prototype for the next round of mechs.
Yeah. But so there is and we're just talking about the surface level stuff right now here. We haven't gotten into the story yet, which, as you said, it's a political drama, but it's also it's a revenge story. It's an interpersonal story, all these relationships, the meanings of that, love, betrayal. It's got everything.
I always say this. It's my least favorite episode out of all of season 1. It's always the first 2. The first episode, I think, is
setup.
Just a setup, because it's really slow, and then
you don't know what's going on. Because it's 2 episodes for Lelouch gets his Geass. So yeah.
But then you go to episode 1, and there's outside, like before the intro, they do like a prologue of, hey, all this stuff's happened. Okay, going in. And then you see Lelouch. And I always think that chess match, that first chess match you see, that's a perfect description of the entire story. Is all Lelouch is doing the entire time is playing chess. So if you look at this as a chess match, it flows beautifully.
Well, in that first encounter where when he steals the nightmare and he starts issuing orders after he's escaped, after here's the thing. I always want to call her CC because in the fan sub days, listening to Japanese audio and reading it, it was always C. in the subtitles. So for years, I called her CC. And then when I listened to the dub for the first time, they called her C2. And I thought to myself, but it's CC. And so I keep wanting to calling her CC because that was my first basically pre-programmed way to say it. And I have a hard time calling her C2. But
that's fair.
But for the sake of continuity, I'll say C2. When C2, that's after C2 gives him his Geass and he's still sort of figuring it out. But when that first encounter where he's giving Colin the orders, and also in the original subtitles, they called her Karen, not Colin. They were calling her Karen. It wasn't until later where I was like, no, it is Colin. Let's not do the whole LR switch thing, please. Let's not do that. So he's giving Colin the other, eventually Black Knight's orders. He's giving them chess
moves.
Moves, yeah. Well, he's referring them by their piece terms, like R2, Q1. Colin's the Queen 1, so Q1, Rook 1, Rook 2, Pawn 1, Pawn 2. So it's fascinating. Everything, he looks at the world like a chess game. And one of the best things is, though, one of the favorite things I love about this first season, and once more, I had forgotten this because it's only the third time I've seen it all the way through. And the second time I saw it through, I was sick and in bed, so memory probably not the best at the time. I love how we are instantly rooting for Lelouch with what he's doing. And we just realize this dude is smart, he's hyper intelligent, but he's inexperienced. And his first encounter with Cornelia shows it. I really like how I'm thinking, he's gonna win this, even knowing what's gonna happen. Like, he'll win this to figure it out. No, because Cornelia has real world experience in battle. He fails to understand her manipulation of the battlefield, and he almost loses. And I love that Lelouch gets his nose bloodied early on, and he learns from it, and then completely owns her in following encounters. I love it.
Well, I also love, because that's after Cornelia really only shows up after
after he's killed Clovis.
Yeah, after he's killed Clovis, and he's basically just been running amok.
Yeah,
and rubbing the noses of like the Royal Guard and everything, who are just fantastic characters in and of themselves. But he's just showing like, hey, I'm strong. And then you have Cordelia come in and just, yeah, fuck you. So then he has to actually elevate and become better at what it is that he's doing.
And he says it too. So he says, I don't have the real world experience. This is what it's really like out here to do battle. And he gets better and better as a thing. He learns when he makes mistakes. And also then there is the constant wild card that ends up being Suzaku in the Lancelot. And a lot of wild cards come into play a lot, and Lelouch keeps adjusting because of those things. And it's interesting whenever he has to deal with it.
And you're not wrong in any of that. But what I also love is how Lelouch is tactically strong. That's about it. Like, he's smart, he's intelligent, he's willing to use what his strength is his brain. He doesn't really he has a nightmare frame, but he doesn't really uses it mainly just to control the battlefield and command.
Once he gets the Gawain, it's both him and C2 piloting it. And also the Gawain is massively overpowered.
It is, but it works perfectly for like his combat style. But then you look at like Suzaku and the Nightmare, they're less so intelligent, but they're super strong. They are built.
Suzaku's an elite. Fight. He's got he is honed. And when Lelouch implants the "you will live" Geass suggestion, that turns him into that. Whenever that triggers, as we'll see it trigger more and more. It only triggers a couple times in season 1, the initial time, and once after that. But as it triggers more and more as the series goes on, it turns him almost superhuman.
Mm-hmm.
It amps up his reflexes. It amps up his reaction time. He sees more. He hears more, and he uses it. He learns to use it. Is the scary thing that he's able to use this thing that Lelouch did to him to his own advantage, and that's why he beats Colin so many times in their combats later on. In the initial ones,
in the beginning, Lelouch did it because he cares about Suzaku, and then Suzaku makes it one of his greatest strengths that also kind of bites Lelouch in the ass from time to time.
And listen, the great thing about this is both Suzaku and Lelouch, they're both cursed. And they curse each other. And I mean, I'm thinking ahead to season 2 right now with certain things, but everything they do, because these are both flawed men. Massively flawed. Lelouch, because as brilliant as he is, he's trapped in his revenge and his desperation to protect Nunnally. He's trapped by that. He cannot. Every time Nunnally is in danger, he loses it a little bit. The careful control shatters because suddenly he has to scramble to make sure she's okay. It happens during the Mao arc, and then at the end there when B2 kidnaps her and takes her to the island. And and him leaving the battlefield like that screwed everything up. And it takes a while in season 2 for things to recover from that.
Well, if you think about it, the only person, at least through season 1, the only person that Lelouch truly loves is his sister.
Yeah, Nunnally. That's it.
Season 2, he starts opening up to some other people, but and I could say Suzaku as well, but his greatest weakness is the only person he truly feels has ever loved him back and has ever actually cared for him, and that is his sister. That's why he does so much for what happened to his mother and his sister being forced to witness that. He has this major hatred towards all this stuff because of the damage that has been done upon his family, so that he just wants to burn it all down. And he's not a good guy, but at the same time, you love him.
Well, okay. We teased on this in a previous stream. Lelouch is not a villain, but he's not a hero. He's not even an anti-hero. He's just a bit of a force of nature, I think. And he does good as much as he does bad. Because
I'd agree with that.
Here's the thing about Lelouch. If you're important to Lelouch, he will literally set the world on fire to do something for you. Literally. If you are not important,
minor spoilers for later on, he'll destroy an entire kingdom for you.
Yeah, he will burn the world for you. If you don't really mean anything to him, you are just a pawn on the chessboard. He will cut you loose. He will use you until you're not useful anymore, which makes he's very callous, I think is the best way to describe Lelouch. He's either super loving or massively callous and cold. You're just a piece. I mean, listen, the whole episode with Shirley, that broke his heart because he had feelings for her. And by essentially wiping her from her memory, which sort of sticks. I mean, her own evidence he didn't know about kind of jars a little bit because we've seen that there are ways to struggle against his Geass. You have to, because when we talk about it, Yuffie's massacre, she struggled at first because he says it, something so horrific went against her nature. And she was able to hold off for a few seconds there. When it came to Shirley, and this is I know people have gripes about this with the movie, and we'll get to that someday when we talk about it, that the movie kind of retcons Shirley a little bit. I'm not so sure. I think that her feelings and love for him with the rest of the series and her own stuff probably clawed a little bit of it back from his Geass, is what I think. Just a little bit. Especially when he goes inactive, but that's a discussion for another time.
It does retcon Shirley, but that's only some things that happen in season 2, and also with the Geass cancellation effects.
Yeah.
The biggest thing that is retconned, she's there.
True.
So like that, I'm trying to say this without spoiling it.
I always that she's there because things happen.
Yeah, things happened. And these are listen, these are fantastic characters. There's only really a few characters that I think Adam and I would agree we don't like for various reasons.
Yeah.
But even like the characters we don't like, we can still say they are well written. They're written to the point that you kind of don't like them.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, we will deal with the retcons when we get there. Because we'll cover season 2 in the movie eventually. It'll happen. So we'll deal with it when we get there. And unless between the movie and it had been what, over a decade between season 2 and the movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
it is a big retcon, I'll say that, but
yeah, it is surely is a very large retcon. Very large retcon.
But it's one of those things that if we go into when we finally start talking about the story, I could believe it. You just need to lay out a little bit more groundwork for me to get to that point.
We'll discuss
it's
it.
Something that we needed.
We've done many discussions about retcons like that before, and I've done it on other things. So, but you're right. The character was great, but like we said, Lelouch is massively flawed like that. But so is Suzaku, because Suzaku's a walking hypocrisy. He's a walking hypocrisy, and also he's naive.
I've heard people say he's a walking hypocrisy. I don't see how he's a walking hypocrisy.
All right, let me make my case. I think he's walking hypocrisy because he claims about, first of all, I think he's naive and hypocritical in terms of I'm going to become a Britannian and change things from within. But I'm going to turn a blind eye to the atrocities the Britannians do in the meantime. And at the same time, he changed things for the course of his nation by killing his father.
No, I agree with that. The reason why I have less of a problem with like the killing of his father is because what he was seeing.
Well, I'm not saying it's a problem. I'm just saying he's a hypocrite for not.
I don't think it's a hypocrite. I think it's him truly caring about the people there. Because for those of that, we need to say this. His father was the general basically in charge of all the
prime minister. No, he's the
prime minister who was leading all of Japan's forces during Britannia's invasion of Japan. And I viewed it always kind of more like he's going all the way back to the mentality. Well, again, this is a world prior to the Revolutionary War, so a lot of things didn't work out. But
I'm not sure if I said it now or if I said it when we were in the green room.
We said it in the green room.
It was great. Yeah, this is an alternate history where after a certain point around the Revolutionary War, the American Revolutionary War, the timeline is altered after a point. So it's a different timeline after
America loses. So then Britain just becomes a dominant power.
But then Elizabeth III in their history, when she's deposed in England, she retreats to the colonies and forms Britannia there. And that's where the Britannian Empire forms and then takes over 1/3 of the world over the next century.
And I'm also saying this because I don't know if World War II would have happened here because
something like that did happen because we see something where either World War I or World War II, something like did happen because you see part of a C2 flashback where she's running through trenches and tanks and stuff like that. So
I view that as more like World War I because of the trench warfare. But
something like that happened.
My main reason for saying this is during World War II, Japan had a very just fight to the last man. It's our honor, it's our belief. We're gonna just keep fighting and killing ourselves in order to win. And that was the mentality that Suzaku's father had, was that we're just gonna keep going. We're just gonna keep going. We're gonna keep fighting. Fuck it all. Kill us all. Don't care.
Yeah.
And Suzaku saw that, didn't think that was right, and killed his father to stop the war because his father was wanting to just kill everybody.
But he was also.
So I view it as it's one of those bad. He did it as a 10-year-old boy, which scarred him and shaped his belief. But he does not like all that pain and suffering. So I view that as like it makes sense.
It makes sense.
I don't think he's a hypocrite,
but
he's idealistic.
It's naive. It's naive to think that he's going to change Britannians who are flat out racist against the entire world. The doctrine is, if you are not Britannian, you are scum beneath our feet, and we will treat you like shit. Literally.
Even if you're an honorary Britannian.
Even if you're honorary.
Still scum.
If you are not in some way blood Britannian, you are a piece of shit. And we will step on you and treat you like that. Because lots of times, Britannians are kicking, beating people in the streets. And it's because it's what they are. Because it's how they were brought up.
And like Adam said, if you're not full-blooded Britannian, you are lesser. Colin, great character, fantastic character. And I think they built more of this on season 2. I can't remember. She's only half Britannian
on her father's side.
On her father's side, because she was not treated well. She was not treated well at all. So she hides those little facts.
Yeah. So the Britannians are assholes. And the rest of the world is basically trying to keep them from doing anything. And there's more going on here, but we can't talk about that until we cover season 2. There's a lot more going on.
You can talk to, like, obviously Britannians all over the world trying to do combat.
No, I mean at the core of the royal family, what's going on?
Oh yeah, at the core of the royal family, they're so fucking crazy.
But with what the emperor is doing and all this shit. We can't talk about George and all he's doing until season 2.
You can't, but you can only say George knows how to he's a presence.
George knows everything George does is with purpose and the full belief in what he's doing is right.
Well, you're right, but just like without his backstory, when you get I think he's only in season 1 twice, maybe 3 times.
At least 3 or 4 times because he's there in speeches. We know that we see in Lucius a flashback. We see him essentially at the top of his eyrie, where he gets given news about what Schneisel's doing, and when he's praising Yuffie's massacre.
Mm-hmm. But you end up every time he's there for those like 4 scenes, he has this presence about him, and I fucking love it. He's a vile individual. He's huge, but he's imposing. And he has this way of just coming out there and saying what it is, and you're gonna listen to him.
Yeah,
and he's a ruler. Love him.
He's a ruler. That is a ruler. But at the same time,
All Hail Britannia is still one of my favorite songs.
Yes, my lord. Yes, your highness. But back to Suzaku. A lot as the season goes on, and you get more of Suzaku working for the Britannians, working for Yuffie, working for Cornelia. The show makes an attempt, and it's done on purpose, because the show's trying to make you root for both Lelouch and Suzaku as our dual protagonists here. I mean, Lelouch is our main protagonist, but Suzaku is 1B. He's 1B. He's 1B. Or Lelouch is 1, and Suzaku is 1A. So, and Colin's 1B. I mean, that's kind of the way it breaks down. So they want, because especially whenever Suzaku and Colin come into fighting, you're rooting for both of them because they're both good people at heart. And it's just Colin's driven by rage and nationalistic pride, and Suzaku is driven by what I see as naivete. Because, as I was saying, the farther it goes on, the show softens it, because when we are first introduced to Cornelia and all Britannians, they're actively massacring people. Remember, Clovis orders the massacres of civilians, of Levens, of the 11s, and that's when Lelouch kicks into gear and all that kind of stuff happens. In order to lure Zero out, Cornelia recreates it and has her knights massacring people. Cornelia is not good. She's a horrible person. Hot as hell, but horrible person. And Suzaku is loyally serving this, knowing this, thinking he can change his stuff. And it's that naivete and it's the hypocrisy. He yells at Lelouch Zero for doing all these horrible things, but he's still accomplice to the horrible things the Britannians do. And he never says, and we know he tries to stop it a couple times at the beginning, but he turns a willing blind eye to it, all that stuff, because of Yuffie as it goes on. So that's why I call him a hypocrite and a naive hypocrite.
I'd say I can see your area. I think it's more that he's just naive and he's idealistic, because a lot of naive idealism will lead you to do some very stupid stuff. And then simultaneously, he's in love with Yuffie, and Yuffie has a similar belief structure as to him. That's why when the massacre happens,
she's completely idealistic.
Broken. Yes.
I mean, Yuffie's suffering from her own problems of inferiority. She's suffering from inferiority complex, where she wants to be useful to everybody around her, her sister, her brother, She wants to help the people so badly because she is a kind person. Yuffie's probably the only, not counting Nunnally, who's a complete innocent in all this. Yuffie's the only good person in this season, the only purely good person. Everybody else is carrying either dark secrets or does horrendous things. Because think about it, at the battle on the mountainside, I forget what it was called there. Lelouch triggers that landslide without a second thought to the town below.
Yeah,
and it ends up killing Shirley's dad, which triggers the whole Mao incident to happen, which gives Mao his way in to fuck around for a few episodes there. And while I think the weakest part is the Mao stuff, I know it's necessary for the explanation of the evolution of Geass, as well as a little more into C2 and how C2 eventually does gank his ass during the clock tower incident. So back to where this started. Our two main characters, Lelouch and Suzaku, good men, massively flawed. And Suzaku's flaw is he is too naive, and Lelouch is that he'll burn the world to get what he wants, and he doesn't care. And he gets, and I'll give it, he gets a little megalomaniacal as it goes on.
He gets more I can't say the word. He gets more like, he gets more like that as season 1 progresses.
Yeah.
And then his fall from grace so much is when Nunnally gets captured.
Yeah,
then
he abandons everybody.
He abandons everybody to go save Nunnally, which
Yeah.
fucks everything up.
Yeah.
And then you see a similar thing take place in season 2, where he gets very high, he gets knocked down, and then he gets high again.
Yeah, well, that's going to be the pattern. Thing is, he learns from it every time.
Mm-hmm.
And Lelouch's demon is that he knows he's going too far each time. But the final part of it in season 2, he has a master plan.
Yes.
And that's the redemption of Lelouch. And that's why the third movie is called Redemption. Isn't the third movie called Resurrection?
Resurrection.
I want to say Redemption. But the Lelouch, his whole arc is he does have redemption in the end. And that's why Lelouch
it's sad redemption. It makes you actually kind of cry because you're like, shit.
Well, and when we talk about season 2, what he does, and it's also because of that, Suzaku in the end will get to serve out his penance that he so desired for killing his father. That's the irony of it all. Everybody gets what they want in some way, shape, or form, and that's why a lot of people, Nunnally gets thrust into something she didn't want, but she's the perfect person for it in the end because of that. And that's why I think a lot of people don't like the movie, because a lot of people like the bittersweet ending of the original of season 2, and I always felt there was a little room more, especially with the tease at the final part of it.
Because of the tease, they left room for more.
I'm okay with it. I've always been okay with it.
I'm not objecting to the movie. I don't think we needed it, but I'm not going to be over here like, hey, I did.
The movie is divisive. The movie is very divisive. You either like it or you hate it.
I like the movie. I don't think we needed it. I'm not going to cry that we had.
And I think we needed it because I don't like the ambiguous ending of season 2. But we'll get there eventually. We'll get out of that.
Yeah.
So,
back to season 1.
Back to season 1. You guys know this is how we do this. We generally stay 95% within the boundaries of the first parts, but we range a little bit outside it.
We range a little bit because we get so in depth into talking about characters that then we go like, well, they end up going here, and it's really hard for us.
But we lock it down. We don't go too detailed.
I'm not telling you guys that freaking Lelouch and Suzaku finally butt fuck. I didn't.
God, did they want that? There's a certain fan base that want it. There's a lot of people that want that. Also, there is again somewhat season spoilers. That's what Lelouch does go and drag at one point, and they turned that into gender swapping and all kinds of stuff. They got obsessed with that after that. It's terrible. Just terrible. But in season 1, at the same time, you have a lot of Callan is our next big character that gets focused because she is the representation of somebody who straddles both worlds and chose a side.
She's also like the perfect counter to Suzaku, where Suzaku is a Japanese trying to be Britannian, and I know she's only half Britannian, half Japanese, but she really wants to just be Japanese.
Yeah.
So you could say she's a Britannian wanting to be Japanese. So that's where the perfect like duality of the two meet. Where then you'd go take a look at like the duality between Lelouch and Suzaku. Lelouch is a Britannian wanting to burn down all of Britannia, and Suzaku's Japanese wanting to be Britannian. So
want to reform it.
To reform it. So you get these very good like counterpoints to every single position that you have.
Yeah. And it works. And that's the delicate balance of all these characters. And the show pulls it off. It pulls it off just about every time. And it does a good job of making you understand Callan's motivations. It's interesting to watch her grow to completely trust Zero, which leads to the point at the end where she gets the revelation that Lelouch is Zero. And now my only problem there is that her breakdown of that is a little too much. I don't know why she's that shattered in that
Lelouch
moment.
is Zero?
Yeah. I think
it's because Lelouch was playing her more or less. Like he does end up caring about her, but I think he doesn't really get that way until season 2.
Well,
it was like the lies and the manipulation she was being put through with him.
I guess so, because season 2 it'll be the who's he going to choose, C2 or Callan? You know, it's that thing.
Callan.
They had it was there, but they veered away from it. There's the moment.
But
and it doesn't
ultimately
happen.
the reason Callan is she has some of these thoughts for Lelouch is because of the manipulation, because of the lies.
I guess it's a good reason.
And you go back to the beautiful, beautiful shower scene. Lelouch played her like a fiddle, utilizing his Geass just perfectly to convince her that it's not him. Because he fucked up trying to figure out how his Geass worked.
He was still figuring the rules out.
Yeah. And then in order to beat it, he played her.
Because that's the thing about Geass is, as C2 eventually puts it, it's different in every person. Geass is a power, but that's just what it is. It's a power that manifests likely depending on the person's most powerful traits or something like that. We've only seen 2 Geass in season 1. We'll see more Geass in season 2. And you get the reveals and all that kind of stuff. And it's fascinating.
There's only, as far as I'm aware, there's only 2 people that have similar Geasses. 2.
Yeah.
And we'll save that.
But it's all done in I would say this is an anime that is a masterclass in balancing character and story. And having the characters drive the story, but sometimes the stories sweep the characters along as events. And it's done so very well. And they managed to balance all the relationships. Even the minor relationships are balanced well. So to a point where you sort of hate the character. Because once Yuffie gets introduced, that creates a whole new level of chaos. Because you have her relationship with Lelouch and Nunnally, her new relationship with Suzaku, and then her effect on a lot of things. And you get characters that I honestly hate. I hate the character of Nina, who becomes an obsessive lesbian for Yuffie. To the point, I remember when I first saw this, and we were talking about this before, where after the hostage incident where Zero drops a mountain on the town, she got saved by Yuffie, and she became obsessed with her. And up until that point, Nina's also Nina doesn't start out well as being completely racist because she's a Britannian. So if you're not a Britannian, she's afraid of you and thinks you're horrible and going to murder people. She believes that kind of propaganda. She's an idiot, but she's also a brilliant little wannabe scientist. So she becomes obsessed with, and this is little really in your face for a 2006 anime, and the scene is actually really potent because it's a scene with no audio. It's just she's looking at a magazine and she's humping a table, and you see her getting off, and let's just say, without being crude, there's evidence of the event on the table. Blinking, you miss it. Because someone walks in the room, and
it is creepy.
Yeah, and
she's
Nina is
obsessed
crazy.
stalker who she doesn't really quit being obsessed stalker because it really
Ever.
does trigger
Oh,
something triggers some like she gets sent on a weird path, man.
talk about
And
one of the
it
yeah,
creating
angry lesbian wants to blow up the world because
yeah,
he took away the source of her stalker. Is
yeah,
it?
because now she can't get off to somebody that
Yeah,
would probably never want to get off to you because she liked Suzaku.
because she was straight. But she did it. But listen, as much as I hate Nina, it's a perfect example of a screwed up person putting somebody on a pedestal. And
Mhm.
it's very dangerous when that person is the only person in the world who cracks essentially making a nuke.
Super nuke. Let's just say it.
Super
It's
nuke.
a super nuke.
Yeah, we're gonna
We're
see it
talking.
used. It's gonna get used. It's gonna get
She's
used.
racist. She's full on stalker Britannian racist that makes super nuke.
Lesbian makes super nuke.
But even the
Nuts.
fact that she's a lesbian, I'm not. It's
I'm
like
just making fun of it, but I mean,
yeah, she is like she is a lesbian. She's a stalker, but that goes to her like her character, and she's
yeah,
insane. And the moment Yuffie dies, she loses her shit.
yeah. I mean, Suzaku lost his shit too, but Suzaku, the soldier, he could only do so much in the Lancelot.
Mhm.
No, this chick is unlocking super nukes.
But not just that, but also you see like the difference in how they respond to it. Where Suzaku then becomes like more dedicated to Britannia, wanting to do right by everything and trying to like
Should kill everybody
kill everybody.
just to get zero.
She has that like crazy psycho girl moment where eyes bug out, she loses control, she is schizo
Yeah.
and evil,
hmm I
all
hate
because
her.
she can't hump a table anymore.
I hate Nina as a character, and she gets for me. She doesn't get any better in season 2.
I think she gets better in season 2, and then I think she gets a little bit better in the movie, but that's about it.
I just don't like her. I don't like her. It's a great character portrait, but I despise her.
I
I
like her
despise
more
her.
because she kind of ends up helping with Lelouch in the end, fully knowing that he's the reason this all went down, but she's trying to right the ship for him.
Mm.
She's
Good. It's
basically getting off with the fact that he's gonna,
yeah.
so
Anyway,
she
so
likes that end.
it's good, and of course we brought her up. This is where the storytelling is so brilliant. I think the tragedy of Yuffie.
Mhm.
With everything that goes on as her struggling as viceroy of as sub viceroy of area 11, wanting to contribute, wanting to make things better, trying to carve out a world where she can marry Suzaku and have her happy ending, where she can give Lelouch not only someplace safe to be. She gets in her head to create an autonomous zone where the Japanese can be Japanese. And Lelouch, of course, had played this scenario out, and he knew it would never work. But he goes super villain on her for a minute there. He's like, I'm gonna crush you, Yuffie. How can you do this? You're stealing my thunder. I was gonna create a new Japan. But then this is the tragedy part of it. Lelouch was going to work with her.
Mhm.
He was gonna do it. And he did not realize that
His
the
Geass
Geass
evolved.
in his left eye had evolved and couldn't be turned off. And he looks at her and glibly just says, "It's not like I wanted you just to kill all the Japanese."
Well, he says it like that, but he's like,
Yeah,
yeah, with my power, I can look at you and
yeah,
say,
that's what I
kill
mean.
all the
He's
Japanese.
being glib about it. Like
Yeah, he's
he's just
being
being glib.
very like joking about it,
Yeah,
like
but he
trying to
does
explain it.
because C2 wasn't there to let him know. Oh shit, your shit's evolving now faster than
Mhm.
I anticipated. He's looking right at her, and he realizes too late. And that is the tragedy. It's such a dark thing because then he coldly said, Lelouch immediately just has to go along with it. And I'm not sure how much it kills him inside, but he
It
just,
I think it
by
did kill him inside.
a
I
little
think
because
this
he
is
says,
like the
when he
beginning of
shoots
like
her, he says, "You're the first
Mhm.
girl I think I ever loved."
Yeah.
And
And there's this there's also this point where he has to go along with it, but he's going along with it because he fucked up. And
mhm,
that is also what starts spiraling to his first
Yeah.
defeat in season 1 is because he didn't know what was going on there. He caused an incident that just triggered the downfall.
And I think that's the most horrible thing of this, is the fact that now he has to carry that lie, knowing that he didn't want to do this, but he caused it, and he gets Yuffie killed. He got thousands of innocent people killed, which was not his intention. And then he has to manipulate everybody into tarnishing and destroying Yuffie's legacy.
And then they have to go full bore into like the war, essentially.
Yeah.
One of the last battles of season 1, where they don't come out on top.
Everybody loses.
Everybody loses except Britannia, because Britannia, they end up succeeding in the end with a lot of losses.
Well, that's because reinforcements come in. Reinforcements are on the way.
And then with the propaganda aspect, they were able to make it look like they won. They won handily.
Yeah.
And
because
go. I will also say part of the final battle, I have my issues with like this, and this goes to some of my criticisms of the writing, is some things happen and people appear and you don't quite understand what the hell, who are they and where did they come from? Because until they say that they're this person, you don't get that that's that person. And the big one is Rakshata, where you're right, they've been kind of building up Rakshata a little bit and you have to listen for it, but then she just is there. And I don't like it.
She comes in with the Gurren. She comes in when they delivered the custom Burais, is when she comes in.
But also
Gurren got there first, and then.
But then you also have that she was able to build the. You already said what the energy power was before, but the thing that kind of nullifies the Sakurai energy nullifiers thing, and it's like how this goes again to some of the writing aspects. How does the Sakurai work, and how does nullifying?
Well, that's just lack of world building right there. They never go into Sakurai ever.
They don't, and I wonder if that's some of the aspects of like maybe within the manga they do, because let's be fair, in the anime they don't really talk about how Britannia came about and that it's an alternate universe.
They just reference the historical moments, and you're supposed to. They rely on you to pick up on it, is what they do.
Well, I don't think they ever say the Revolutionary War. They did. They mention it. I was listening for it. They mention it right during the explanation of Elizabeth III fleeing to Europe, and I never heard
fleeing
that
from Europe to America. There's a whole line talking about her fleeing to America.
There's certain historical things that I wish they would have like delved into a little bit more, in some of the technology and stuff. I wish they would have tackled a little bit more on like the world building, because I don't fucking know how any of the technology works at all.
Yeah, they just kind of go by it.
Yeah, they just want you to believe it, and that it works for the most part. I just wish there was a little bit more. Yeah, and there's certain things like that where they could have done better at the world building and character developments.
True. As much as they did, there was still more to go. They could have done more. I agree. I can agree with that. But other than that, then you get the animation is just so top notch.
Oh.
The mech battles are out of this world, intricately choreographed. I love it. There's no battle that's the same, and it's a dance on the screen, and I love watching it. And all the different ones, because now, in this one, we only get a couple of unique ones, like the Gurren Mark II, the Lancelot, Toto's custom Burai, and Cornelia's semi-custom.
Don't you also have Collins?
That's the Gurren Mark II.
Oh, Gurren Mark II. Okay.
Collins is the Gurren Mark II, and of course the Gawain, when they steal that from Schneisel. But now, when you get to season 2, that's when the Nightmare customization really breaks out with the rest of the Knights of the Round, and you get the Gurren Mark III, Lancelot Mark II, but the battles get even more insane. Then the Chinese get involved.
I don't like to give Chinese a whole lot of credit for anything, but they had a nice, clean one. They had a really clean one.
Yeah, you see that dude for a second. The dude who's going to come around, the Chinese Nightmare pilot, who's going to be prominent in season 2. You see him for a second in one during somebody's speech. His back is to the camera and he's listening to it. So there's so much stuff that's good. The Nightmares. They steal every scene because it's what you're here for. Mecha battles.
You are there for the mecha battles. I ended up liking the politics over the mecha battles, and also like in most mechas, like because this is 2006, so they really were trying to go away from
Gundam.
reuse frames and Gundams and stuff like that, and they only really reuse certain frames in this, in which reuse frames was very common in mechas because like how many times do you want to
meet
redo
your
this?
deadlines. You need to
Yeah, you need to meet your deadlines. The only frames that they ever actually like reuse is launch, like the launching of a mech. So a good example is oh fuck, I just had it. Lancelot. Lancelot, usually when it's launching out of its pod, it's using the exact same frame as it originally did. So outside of that, that's like the bare minimum of like, yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Because
yeah,
every combat is a unique combat every time. And it's glorious. And how they use these mechs with their special designs, far away from anything we had seen at that point, completely unique. And it's a joy to watch.
Season 1, most people none of them can fly except for one. And that was supposed to be a brand new technology.
Yeah, I forget what they call it. Yeah.
I think it was float tech.
Float tech, yeah, float tech. I mean, the Lancelot gets a pack and the Gawain has it built in.
And then it wasn't until season 2 that everybody's flying. So you do get a nice progression of, hey, nobody can fly.
Standard mecha show progression. Everybody gets it. Yeah, yeah.
Which is nice. I like that. And again, very mass-produced models just fighting a whole lot of the time, which is also really nice. So
yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. The score, the music is outstanding.
Oh, I already said it. All Hail Britannia, one of the best songs, and I'll play it over and over again. And I love it because of just how grand it is. And there's so many great songs, so many great songs of this entire soundtrack that you can just put on and just relax to. And you feel great. It
hits all spots. So I think we're good ending there. I mean, we didn't really go beat for beat for the story, but we talked about the characters, how it goes, and I mean, we did talk about C2. We did talk about C2. The mysterious C2, who we don't. Well, there's not much to talk about. She's just there, and we know she is the impetus for everything. She's the source. She's the catalyst because of Geass. She's the source of Geass. And
all you really know about
a lot of stuff.
She's the source of Geass, like you were saying. All you know about her for the most part is that she's integral to the overall story. You know that Britannia was doing some sorts of experiments on her. You don't know what.
Secretly, just Clovis, and he was very scared that anybody would find out he had her.
Yes. And you know that she has some connection to the Geass and a weird ability to regenerate herself.
She's immortal. She's immortal. She got shot in the head. And she's immortal. And we know through the flashbacks that you see essentially two worlds. You see people praying. You see priests and priestesses with the same mark that I love. They're able to hide on her forehead until the mouth segment where you sort of see it. And of course, I can't let this go. I love her outfits. She just dresses in sexy outfits. The little hat outfit during the Mao arc, little hat and the handlebars. It's like, honey.
You just love C2 a whole lot.
C2's sexy.
C2, she is attractive. I think she's my least favorite character in season 1 because she's kind of just there and you don't know much about her.
And she's there to promote Pizza Hut.
Yes.
That was the shameless branding of Pizza Hut in Code Geass.
She eats Pizza Hut like freaking crazy. That she's even known as the pizza girl in several spots. But what you do know is that she is kind of there to help also guide and assist.
Yeah, they're partners
in a weird way.
They're partners to the end. They make a contract, and that's part of it. And their relationship deepens in season 2. It's still in its early stages.
Her entire story gets revealed in season 2, and you're kind of like, God damn, she's actually a good character.
Oh yeah, she's great. And I just remembered, I have to mention, we don't get him much, but we get Schneisel, the only person Lelouch is actually afraid of, because Schneisel is smarter than him.
Yeah, Schnizel's smarter, more accomplished, and he's the white king to his black king.
Yeah, Schneisel is the most dangerous piece on the board to Lelouch. That's why his season 2 stuff, their build up for them is so great. It comes down to literally the last second.
What's also amazing is like you see George, and you see how Lelouch reacts to George. Lelouch, honestly, I think he's not scared of George. He
No.
wants to destroy George.
He doesn't want to deal with Schneisel, though. He doesn't want.
Yeah.
You see that early on. He's like, shit, I don't want to deal with Schneisel right now. I could deal with Cornelia. She's a beast, I understand. But Schneisel, he knows he can't beat him. He knows he can't. And that's fascinating. That's where Lelouch's confidence shakes. And that's more a season 2 thing. Because you only get a little bit of Schneisel in season 1.
Schneisel is intimidating as all hell.
He's fascinating. It's fascinating. Confident, secure, knows exactly what he's doing. Is resisting his father. We get that tease that Schneisel working as a plan that's going against whatever George is doing. Because Schneisel is also putting the pieces together of what's going on in the background with Geass. He's putting the piece together because he's the one that was funding. He's funding the Lancelot project, and he was also funding Clovis secretly because he scoops up Clovis's boys when they pick up Orange Boy and his insanity. We're not going to spend time with that because that's just funny. That's more for
season 2, and I completely forgot Schneisel shows up in season 1, and then I saw him, and it's like, oh fuck,
yeah. Schneisel is a player.
He's also this goes to the animation. It's how they present the character. And Schneisel in every scene up until like towards season 2, he's always just confident. He walks up, he has his look, and he always kind of has a grin on. Like he knows what's going on. He knows how to play this shit, and he's not gonna. He's very confident in what it is that he's gonna be doing.
Yeah,
which I love about him.
And he's smooth.
Oh yeah,
he's smooth.
It's terrifying.
The way he plays his older brother, the first prince, Odysseus. Because Odysseus, he's nothing. He's an empty head. He doesn't want to be first prince. He doesn't do anything. The way he plays him, well, brother, why don't you let me handle this? Will you? Thank you, Schneisel. Please take all the responsibility from me. It's great. It's great. And of course, Cornelia, he's the only one that Cornelia bends a knee to. That will do that. And it's and I'll just say this: Sword of Damocles. It's good stuff. So I think we'll wrap it up there. We've because we got to try and get this done within the hour because I got to get to another thing.
Okay, we got to talk One Piece.
Yeah, we do. Before that though, I told you about this earlier in the week. You hadn't seen it. This I thought was really cool. Oda did something cool. He basically turned Jack Sparrow into a One Piece character and presented it to Johnny Depp.
Oh, I did see that. I didn't look at it, but I did
look
see
at that.
That's awesome.
That's Jack Sparrow as a One Piece pirate. That's fucking cool.
That is actually cool.
That's just freaking cool.
Especially, I really like that because you can go on like YouTube and stuff, and you can see mashups of One Piece music with Pirates of the Caribbean music, and they just work good together. They've always worked good. So this is really sweet.
That's Oda being just cool. Oda gets it.
Yeah.
That's Oda.
Oda gets it. Oda. You know, it wouldn't shock me if Oda would now draw Jack Sparrow into there.
Just see him in the background in a battle later on. Just something happen.
Just to have fun with it. Yeah. And he's not going to do like a whole thought, but he'll just throw characters like that in there. And that would be cool to see him do that.
Yeah. I just thought this was cool. I thought it was appropriate since we were on an Anime Odyssey week that I'd bring that up. I just thought that was really cool. All right. One Piece. Last time we left off, we were finally getting the reality of what it was going to be. God Valley Climax, Garp and Roger versus possessed Rocks, who we must realize is stronger than normal Rocks. Emu possessed Rocks is much stronger than normal Rocks. And what I like during this fight is we get the confirmation of now really Conqueror's hockey, being more than just the blast. That you coat yourself in it and use it like any other hockey. That revelation is flat out said right there because that's how Garp and Roger end the fight essentially by using a combined Conqueror's hockey infused attacks.
Yep. And that my biggest complaint about that fight was that it was very short, but also like you already know that Garp and them are going to struggle because this is so much stronger. This is an intimidating version of Rox, and he wants to actually die.
Yeah.
He does not like this. He wants Garp and Roger to take him out. And what I also like is you see a lot of Luffy style fighting from Garp.
Mm-hmm.
The fists and the gatlings and everything like that. Like you see where Luffy gets it from, which is really really nice to see, like some of the family dynamics there. Roger's obviously using his sword and fighting back as hard as he can.
Uh-oh. He froze. We lost him, folks. I thought he was pausing for dramatic effect, but no, he's frozen. So we'll give him a chance to. Just gonna wait till he pops out his own. That way, we'll know when he's gone completely. I don't know where he was going with that thought. So all I will say is that Derby and I talked about this before. That the whole Garp Roger Rox fight.
Am I back?
You're back. There you are. You're back.
Okay, my internet freaked out there for a second.
I thought for a second you were dramatically pausing, and then I realized, no, he's frozen. He's frozen.
Yeah, I'm frozen. No, but you get Figurling Garling coming in to kill at the very end.
At the end, yeah. So
that hurt me.
And I was saying that you and I were talking about this before, that we feel like they're going to animate this more of the fight when it goes to animation. They're going to do what they've been doing lately with stuff. They'll give you more in the anime than they did in the manga and stuff like that. But yeah, Garling coming in and finishing off Rox at the end of it. That's pretty gruesome. And we saw that Rayleigh and others came in to pick up Garp and Roger to get them out of there. And I love that. I love this whole sequence because the whole thing, the end of it, you got the fight, and then you see basically the collapse of the Rox pirates to become now the powers of the new world. The Mom pirate, Big Mom, Kaido, Whitebeard, and all the other
then you also
guys.
See guy who's in charge of Hachinosu. I can never remember that dude's name. I just know that he's more or less the father of Caribou.
Oh yeah, I saw him in one frame. Yeah, you saw him in one frame. Yeah, you saw him. And
he becomes a new world power and then gets beat by Blackbeard.
And so it's all the history is unfolding, and the story keeps telling us these things, and it's the echoes and the waves and the falling out. And as we slowly get back to Harold and how he plays a role in all this, and we realize quickly all of this was shown to try and make us understand what happened to Harold had happened to Rox. Just in a different way. Harold got basically lied to. The elders and Emu basically told him what he wanted to hear. All the time doing exactly what Rox said they would do. They would use the giants as a means to war.
They wanted to rule the world. They already do, but they just wanted full domination no matter what. So they manipulated Harold, who wants to have this like really good connection. He's trying to do what Ida told him to do, have this great connection between humans and
giants.
And giants. And he's trying his best to find that path. And he thought, hey, Harold couldn't do it his way, so I'm going to do it my way, and I'm going to team up with the world government. And through that, you get to where we are now.
He rips off his horns. He says, I'll be your slave. And he does their dirty work. He becomes this mythological beast that kills ships in the Florian Triangle and all that kind of shit. I mean, it's crazy.
He is attempting to take all the anger of the world, all the hatred of giants, and apply it to himself. Because in the latest chapter, you do get a sentence from him where he's like, I'm going to abdicate the throne and give it to somebody that deserves it.
Yeah.
So his plan is, I'm going to take on all this anger, animosity. I'm going to do the world government's dirty work. So that way I'm the bad guy and giants aren't.
Yeah. And during that, because we got a lot of extra stuff in there too, we start to understand how Imu's power works. That you go through these rituals, and tattoos will link everybody to him, and different tattoos and different rituals basically connect you deeper and deeper. And we got. You and I were talking about this before we went on stream. We are now faced with there are at least 3 more backstories we need, because we find out that Shanks ended up in a treasure chest that got on the Roger pirate ship, which is how Shanks became a Roger pirate. But then at some point, Shanks decides to return to Mary Geass.
Marie Joie, but yet,
Mary Joie,
and the weird part, you want to know the weirder part about Shanks' timeline?
Yeah.
He would have returned to Marie Joie while the red-haired pirates were around.
Because that's the scar he gets from Blackbeard. He's bandaged in the place where Blackbeard injured. So
there's a theory that that's not Blackbeard's injury, but it's like there's no other injury that would be there. That has to be Blackbeard's injury.
Yeah, so something's off here, because that's 13 years ago at that point. Because they keep giving you timeline points. So I wonder, did Oda make a mistake here? Did Oda make a mistake?
I don't think Oda did, because there is a theory that the red-haired pirates went through a similar story as the Straw Hats. So there's a period of time where they disband to strengthen.
Okay.
That's a theory. Not set in stone, but it wouldn't be shocking.
We need to know something, because suddenly Shanks returns her to Mary Joie, and he is accepted back into his family. And he makes it up to almost full knighthood with Imu. He
almost becomes what his father was.
Yeah, and what Clover is, or Shamrock is. Sorry,
Shamrock.
Sorry, I don't know why I said Clover.
Well, Shamrock, Clover, close enough.
Yeah. But so he almost does that. So, we got a red from Jed. Thank you, everybody, coming on over.
Shout out, Jed.
From the Endless Frontiers. Thanks, everybody, for joining us here. Anyway, but yeah, so something, and we don't know. Was Shanks talking about wanting to destroy the world? Talking about wanting to burn? He's filled with anger we've never seen in Shanks before. So there's a backstory for Shanks that we need now. We need to know.
We were gonna need Shanks's backstory, but we really need it now.
Now there's something else in there.
And what? Basically, we need more backstories than we thought we needed before, because we still need Roger's backstory, which
that's not coming to the very end. That's the very end.
But the reason you need Roger's backstory now is because Rox said something to Roger, and there's a very clear that Rox and Roger were like, they weren't enemies, but they were rivals, and they knew more about each other than we expected.
Rivals, but without hatred. It was more
kind of more like how Luffy views, I would say, Law, or maybe how Law views Luffy.
No, because Luffy doesn't actually hate anybody, and
except for Blackbeard.
Blackbeard, yeah, because of what Ace, but so no, I think it's really more along the lines of where we were both striving to be the best out there, and that's what happened. So. There's more there.
And you need a Garp backstory that you might get through Dragon, because there's a lot.
Because you saw that Garp basically jailbreaks him.
Garp's the reason we have the Revolutionary Army.
Because Garp how many times have we criticized Garp for standing by while all the shit happens? And he actually explains it in these chapters. He says, someone has to be here to protect the regular Marines.
Because there is so many regular Marines. Again, the amount of soldiers throughout the world, that is a commonplace job to go into, and the amount of people that still view the Marines as being forces of good. There is good Marines. There's always going to be good Marines out there. Garp wants to protect those people. He wants to protect the everyday people.
That is why, because Roger yells at him, Dragon yells at him, even Sengoku yells at him. Why are you still here so angry? If you know all the stuff, because, well, someone's got to be here to protect the regular guys, the guys who are not indoctrinated this shit. So might as well be me. I'm strong enough.
And then you get more of that when you go back and you look at like his interactions with Kobe and how he taught Kobe and how, hey, keep the youth, protect the youth.
Yeah.
And how he is him teaching the younger generations is pushing his will on.
So this finally explains what people called Garp's hypocrisy. for staying with the world government and the Marines, even though he knew how corrupt, they broken, and evil they are. So, because Emu's evil, there's no doubt. Emu is evil.
Emu is just like what's her fuck from Code Geass, who has this weird obsession with individuals and is willing to destroy the world in order to get that obsession.
Yeah, Emu's Nina. Sure, I'll go with that. But now, and suddenly now with all this stuff, and this was very interesting to watch the timeline after God Valley, how Harold seemingly almost connects to so many incidents.
Mm-hmm.
He was here at this point. He's at that point. He has connections to Fishman Island. He has connection here, connection there. As we go through the timeline of all these events happening, wow, Harold was actually there. I know might be a little retcon from Oda, but he was there the whole time. He was connected this whole time, and I forget.
It might be a little retcon, but it also we don't know a whole lot of these events, so it's not that drastic. It's more like, hey, he was here the whole time.
Yeah.
Times that you didn't know that he actually existed. So
yeah. That's what I'm saying. So it gives Oda the room to do it, but it's acceptable. It's acceptable.
What I also like is, now I don't mean this as in like I like this as perfect storytelling. I don't like that this happened. The death of Ida. It's death of Ida is fucking tragic. And what Loki does.
That's why Loki was in jail, because Loki had just been a bad boy. He hadn't done anything horrible. He'd just done a roughneck, a little bit of a roughneck. But when he discovers that his biological mother's clan poisoned Ida, he goes on a rampage and kills them all. Because
Ida was his real mom.
Because she
more or
accepted
less. She accepted him. Yeah. She treated him as if it was his own, her own flesh and blood. Kindness, loved him to death. And his own mom was like, we're on another channel, so I'm not going to say that word. Evil bitch. Very evil bitch. See you next Tuesday. Yeah. Willing to throw him off the fucking tree right at birth. Never showed him an ounce of love. Ida was the one that did that. So when you killed Ida, it broke him. It sent him on a rampage, and that's what led him to being in jail for the beginning. And that's important to then go back to Harold and what's going on with where we just left
after him. And now we're set up now. Shanks was about to be elevated to the highest level of sainthood with the God Knights, and he bailed. Probably because Shanks learned whatever. My theory is that Shanks was there to learn something. And he learned what he needed. And then he got the hell out and reformed the red hair.
What we know for sure is he was sent on a mission, didn't come back. So your possibility is very clear. Because
that was his
out.
That
could be it.
That was his out. He took that mission to escape. And so next in line was Harold. So Harold gets bumped up to full God Knight. He gets the final thing. And when he returns to Elbaf, Emu sends him the order. Now you are to now form an army and work with the Marines to crush everything. And he's fighting against it.
He's fighting against it because it goes entirely against Ida's wishes.
Yeah. So now here we are. It's the night that Harold's going to be murdered. And we thought, well, did Loki really kill him? Loki didn't say he was going to kill him. He was trying to talk about, well, I didn't really want to do this. But now we are in the exact same situation Rox was in. Rox was forcefully point blank infused, but Harold made the bargain. So he's going to be forced to do something he doesn't want to do. And just like we see with all the other giants in the present, Dory, and who they've all been taken over by Emu's power. They're all demonic now. Harold's in that moment. He's becoming possessed, and he's had himself chained to a pillar, this and that, and he's summoned Loki and the Elder to take him out.
And I can't remember the guy's name.
The Elder, the guy with the axe in his head. The guy with the axe in his head. Who's going to get an axe in his head in this moment. And here we are. So it seems that the whole reason, not only because God Valley, but we had to see that this is Emu's MO. Possess you, force you, and somebody saying, please kill me. I cannot control. Because once you're trapped like that, there's no
stopping it. You're fucked.
unless you're Nika.
Unless you have the Nika ability to more or less break free from it. So that becomes like Luffy again is going to be the natural counter to Emu, which
it showed you that even the Davy bloodline is not strong enough to break it. Which now we bring in the Will of D. The Will of D combined with the power of Nika scares Emu shitless.
Yes. We don't know what the Will of D is. We know that it's might be connected to Davy.
I think it's connected to Davy Jones.
I still think it has something more connected to the Ancient Kingdom, which that could easily be.
Davy Jones was king of the world.
Yes, it could, but I think there might be a little bit more there that we still don't know. Maybe it could be like the wish of Davy Jones. That could be it, but I still don't know. But we also know that Joy Boy was potentially not Davy Jones, but he could have been Davy Jones. Don't know.
I don't think Joy Boy was Davy Jones.
There's a possibility, but I do think they were separate. I think they were different. And I'm laying this out because there's a theory going around right now that we don't know what the treasure of Elbath was. We still don't know. We might be about to see it. It might not be what the theory is, that it's the gum fruit. Like that's one of the theories.
Well,
that was the treasure.
You have to remember Shanks got his hand on the gum fruit.
Mm-hmm. And Shanks is the one that ends up chaining up and stopping Loki. So he would have been there. Now, the thing is that Loki supposedly ate the treasure. So we don't know if he did or didn't. We don't know if the gum fruit is that or not.
And we don't know if Loki has a devil fruit power right now. We don't know.
We just know that he has this powerful hammer that is just tied to him and he can only use it. We only know that. So, and I'm laying this all out because one of the theories is that Nika, Joy Boy, whoever it is, the person with the gum fruit, needs to be teamed up with the Davy to end Emu. And I'm laying this out there because that's one of the things that Rox was pushing so hard to get Harold on, because he thought Harold was the reincarnation of Joy Boy or the next Nika. He viewed that so closely. That's why they cared about each other so much. And they wanted to bring on the third world, the third world, the end of all this, bring on the new world and stuff, and the dawn of the new age. And you need those two together. The only two that we know that now we know who Nika is and we know who the Davy is. The theory is that Blackbeard and them are going to have to team up.
To take out Emu. Blackbeard is too heinous, though. There's no face turn for Blackbeard, man. He's done too much heinous shit, and not in the name of anything good.
Well, we don't. So to be honest, we don't know what he's done it in the name of. We don't know anything about Blackbeard.
True.
Other than he's cutthroat.
I mean, if Oda is that the twist Oda makes, I will be disappointed if they give Blackbeard a face.
He would have to build it. He would actually have to work on it.
It would have to be the biggest sell of all time. Because right now, there's nothing Oda could do that could make me accept Blackbeard as a face. Nothing. He did that what he did to Ace, what he did to Whitebeard, what he's continued to do.
It's gonna be a work. I don't know if I'm fully sold on
the people he brings on his crew who are evil.
I don't know if I'm fully sold on the thing yet either. So just let me lay that out there. I'm not fully sold, but that is one of the theories, because the two will reunite to bring about the third world. That is what's told on I can't remember what it's called right now. So they think the two are Blackbeard and Luffy. I kept wanting to say Joy Boy, but Luffy.
I don't buy it right now. I don't buy it.
I'm not buying it either. I need a lot of fucking work to be done. The other possibility is that it is in reference to Shirahoshi and Loki. Because now we know that they were betrothed, and it does look like Loki's been talking to Shirahoshi this entire time.
Well, either way, We got years before we get answers.
We ain't gonna know what's happening until
we're not even.
I'm probably gonna be 33, 35 by the time we're even.
We're not even get back to the present fight until late into January right now.
And we still don't even know how. We're probably gonna end up seeing that Luffy is the natural counter, because a lot of people have been pointing this out, and I fucking hate this arc. I hate it so much, but Skypiea really is laying out.
I told you Skypiea. How many times have I told you how important Skypiea was?
I know, but
how many times have I told you?
A lot. But I hate Skypiea. I hate it so much, and I hate it for it. It just feels like an off arc, but it is like it is the groundwork for what you need to be applying to the end. So you can see like all the pieces and everything like that, who's who, and you kind of figure out how this is all going to work.
And you know why it's also important? It's the first time Luffy and Blackbeard cross paths.
Yes. I hate Skypiea. I hate it. I tried to watch it.
I know you do.
I hate it.
I know you do. It's not a fun arc.
It's not. But I will accept it as what it is, and I pray to God it doesn't. It's just gonna rhyme. Okay, I just know that it's gonna rhyme. It's not gonna be 1-to-1, so I can probably handle what's gonna end up happening in the overall story. I'll probably be able to deal with it and just accept it.
Yeah.
God, I hate it.
But we still love it.
We love One Piece still.
Yes.
The characters, everything about it, it is so wonderful, and I love getting to read the manga every single week.
And I'm fine,
or almost every single week.
And I'm fine waiting a month at a time. Perfectly fine.
That's fair.
Anyway, all right. Thank you everybody for coming in. I don't have anything else because I don't want to drive it too long because I got to get ready for Wormhole Watch in less than an hour. So I didn't scrounge for any more stories because I knew we would go long on either side. We actually went short on One Piece than I thought we would. So
there was like One Piece right now. What's there to talk about? We're still just wrapping up. We're basically in the wrap up part of the flashback. So
and then we're going to get into and then we're going to go into about 4 months of fights as Luffy's team of Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, and Loki climb out of a valley and go to fight, go to save everybody who are currently getting their asses kicked by demonic infused emu giants.
There's still we still have a lot of questions that
there's the God Knights and the God Knights that are there.
You got God Knights, you got demon emu possessed people. Then you also have Gunko's weird connection to potentially Brook. So you got a lot still that we need answers to.
Yeah, it's his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
It's his daughter. Plain and simple. It's his daughter. I called that when we first saw that. It's his daughter. So I love it though. It's something to look forward to. So I guess we're at that point. Also, December's almost over. I get the new season of anime to watch soon. I'm gonna get to finally watch garbage. I'm finally gonna get to watch garbage anime.
Yay! I'm so excited for you to watch it. I got caught up on it last night, and now I have a new episode to watch today. So I'm happy. And it was a cheat. I'm not gonna spoil what happened, but there was a really cheesy moment in the last episode, and I'm watching it. And it's like I love it. I love this really cheesy moment because it works. Hey, guess what? Even though you want to subvert our expectations in modern day content, sometimes the cheesy shit.
Don't do
sometimes that stereotypical I'm doing this because my friends.
Yep.
That shit still works. You can subvert, but you still need some of that cheesy shit.
Yeah. So, happy birthday, Arturo Alejandro.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Have a good birthday tomorrow. Be safe on your birthday. Don't do anything stupid. Be safe.
Don't do anything I would do.
You never do anything wrong, good buddy.
Dude, that's a lie, and you know it. Anyways, you want to play the game?
I have to be nice to you.
You want to play the game?
I do want to play the game. All right, here we go. Choosing January's show.
That's right. We're choosing for January here. Now, I've been thinking about these, and I'm going to lay out the first one. Now, the first one I think Adam won't pick, and I think this would be the one that he
That's not a good way to lure me.
I know. I think it'd be the one you like the least, but I'm going to say it. Okay. Kaiju. Good kaiju we both like. Difference is it plays a lot into theoretical physics. That's what I'm gonna say there.
I might know what you're talking about.
You might. Kaiju.
I'm thinking
Second
of some
one.
recent kaiju stuff. So, is it recent?
It is newer. It
Past
is newer.
couple of years?
Second one. Yes.
Okay. I've probably seen it.
You might have, but I don't know. Second one. Obviously, it's me. I'm gonna have to pick something a little darker because it's me. I'm gonna suggest dark gothic medieval fantasy. You could probably figure that one out. And the final one.
Yeah.
The final one. I'm also gonna go dark and gothic. Well, not gothic, but dark. Dark. I'm trying to think of how to describe this. Actually, here, dark cat and mouse game. Kind of a weird world going on there.
What kind of genre? Give me a tag. Give me some sort of tag.
I'm gonna go. The best I could probably give it a tag for is mystery. Not so much fantasy, but mystery.
I don't enjoy mystery anime.
It's the best kind of tag I could give it. I don't really think it's a mystery.
I'm pretty sure I know. All right, that one sounds like I'm not. That doesn't sound very interesting to me. I'm pretty sure I know what number 2 is. Pretty sure.
Probably know what number 2 is.
I'm gonna go with number 1.
Okay, number 1, the kaiju that it took me a couple watches to try to figure out what the hell is happening because deep theoretical physics. Godzilla Singular Point.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I'm probably not gonna like it. All right.
It is one that takes some hey, I need to watch this closely because they deal with some theoretical physics and stuff like that, but it's fun. It's enjoyable. They have a different twist on Godzilla, and the music they bring back classic music in a fun
DM me
way.
the information so I know I look up the right thing. So DM it to me later so I know I'm looking up the right thing. Don't have to right now, do later.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. Your schedule is possibly going to change next month, so we're going to hold off on telling you guys exactly when we're going to do this. We'll try and keep it the normal thing towards the end of the month, but we're not going to put a date on it yet because Derby's schedule may change.
Yes, my schedule might be more or less going back to normal-ish.
So if that happens, we would put the show back to the middle during the week because as capable as I am as I doing this on a Sunday, you guys understand right now when I start at 3 p.m., I don't stop till 3 a.m.
Yeah,
with everything I do on a Sunday with everything. And so I would like to have the break between Roundtable and Wormhole Watch before I go back to other things. But woe is the life of me. I know. I have to talk about things that I like. Terrible.
It's awful. I can't believe you're like this, man. I can't believe it.
I know. Anyway, so that's it. That's all we got. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here and on this channel, on Dermy's channel. Best you guys can do is hit those like buttons, subscribe to the channels, keep it going. We're trying to do great, wonderful, enjoyable things for you guys. We'll see you guys around the horn throughout the week. Until then, take it easy, everybody.
Bye.